Welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. Now, before we get started, press that subscribe button. It's not going to cost you anything.
Zit er zaden in?
Press that subscribe button. Now, look, me and Jay have been looking at the analytics, and we're not getting much female viewership. So, we decided to pump some sex appeal into the show, some beefcake, and that is the reason that I'm on today's show. Now, we've got
I knew that was coming, mate. I knew that was
couldn't help
coming.
myself. No, but we've got Adam Partington from Grand Old Team, the host with the most. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries, mate.
It's a bit of a
So
fucking role
We
reversal
don't
here,
get
anyway.
to do it after, do we, so?
Well, you know, also you're enjoying it.
I was going to ask you what have you got there, mate.
It's a lovely fan ales, which you can get on fanales.co.uk. There we go. And we've also got, you got some new teams out, haven't you?
Yeah, but none of these are interested, are they? It's Tottenham and Chelsea.
Might be some
you know, Southern Evertonians with mates
Could
that
be,
support those clubs, yeah. You can buy them online.
Might be
£13.50.
some fans of Football Facts who like, going down Wall Lane and all that shit.
Is that your impression of a Cockney accent?
I can only do the Scouse guy off Football Factory, but that's off topic, that, because we love that film. Who doesn't, like? Fucking, you met Stanley.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Yeah,
Absolutely classic.
Christmas is coming up. Buy one of these for the Evertonian in your life, and if you've got one of them breads in your family, you can get them as well, can't you?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Keep
But
that quiet.
It's a great Christmas gift for, like, I struggle to, what can I get me dad? What can I get me dad? What can I get Armagh? Three of these. Get a nice gift back.
Does your mum like them as well?
Maybe she will. We'll find out. She don't really like football, to be honest. Yeah, she's Irish.
Okay.
They like Gaelic football, and you know, what's the other one, Jay? It's Gaelic football.
Hurling.
It's a fucking man sport, that.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're getting the female viewership on as well, yeah. For the beefcake. Yeah, I was gonna put the Diet Coke music on. You know what is it? Remember the music of the Diet Coke advert?
Oh yeah.
I don't need you.
I'm not
work all day. We would have put that on, but
I'm
the
not
nerds
sure
of
I do
YouTube.
that justice, to be honest. So.
Well, come on, Adam, you fucking met no female viewership now. They're all watching now, and they need buckets underneath them. I'm telling you, someone to mop it up. So, listen, ladies, he's married. Hands off.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's very true.
Unlucky. Too late.
Just fucking honestly stop it now. I'm not often speechless, but I don't have much to say.
What a lovely taste that was. But we're here to talk about something, aren't we?
Lunatic, yeah.
I know, yeah. But we're here to talk about who would we pick from the last decade that could go into the current Everton side.
Yeah.
Now, we've been talking about this before, and we've thrown up a few names.
It's tough because it's not been a very nice decade to be an Evertonian.
No, it certainly hasn't.
I mean, there's been worse decades. We've not really we haven't had a relegation scrap this decade. I mean, we've had points in the season where, you know, you've probably thought, and I think as Evertonians, you know, we're inherently pessimistic anyway, and you always err on the side of caution, so it's always in the back of your mind. But compared to the 90s, where we had the high with that cup win, and we haven't had that this decade.
Dogs of war.
We haven't had that relegation scrap, but it's been a pretty. I mean, look back on it. Really, what are the highlights?
Martinez's first season was alright, wasn't it? You know, we got to 2 semi-finals before he got sacked.
The depressing thing about that season is that's probably my best season supporting Everton. And I remember my dad's over there. I remember being at the Man United semi-final at Wembley. And
was this where Martial scored the winner?
Yeah, when they scored the winner, and it was like incredibly depressing. And then I remember he kind of felt bad because, you know, witnessing those sides in the 80s and whatever, and seeing us win a lot, and then kind of like, what's our highlights? It probably is if you like me and you just turned 30. I can't really remember 95 that well.
No, I was too young to appreciate it.
Yeah, so our highlight is probably that season. Yeah. Depressing. I mean, Moyes is.
Jeez, you got Samaritan's phone number ready, Jay, because I'm fucking ready. It's grim, innit?
It is grim. But this decade, it's not been brilliant.
Yeah.
But for me, it's tough, you know. For me, I think if I could pick any player from this decade and pop him into this current Everton side, it'd be Fellaini. I just think his combative nature, the fact. I mean, strange, isn't it, what you say about Fellaini? Because like he had this amazing ability to chest the ball.
Sure, yeah, he was great his first touch was great. He was good on the floor.
Yeah.
A bit similar to Duncan, really, where people didn't look at it that way. They just thought of his heading ability.
He did. And again, like Duncan, a terrific footballer, I think, on his day. So for me, it'd be Fellaini, I think.
I liked Fellaini because he was just, he chased people down. Like, I think he put the tweet up about the second goal against Sunderland in the quarter-final, where he made it happen. Yeah. And
I just feel like at the moment, and I'm sure plenty of Evertonians will agree with this, we don't really have those characters in the current side, and that might. I'm not sure if that's specific to Everton. I'm not sure if this is like a cultural thing now within football where you don't have as many of those characters. I mean, really, if you think about the Premier League, you open up to other sides. Are there that many really combative players that?
No.
Have got that element to them anymore?
It's that though.
There's definitely no Duncan Fergusons anymore, and I don't
no.
think there's many Fellainis either.
God, could you imagine those players playing in the Premier League now? The fouls that would be given against them and stuff like that. Because, I mean, we've talked about this before where what annoys me is seeing tackles where people win the ball and they get sent off and they go, oh, fuck, that was dangerous play. And like the likes of Graham Souness and old school players going, yeah, it deserves red. And I'm like, back in your day, mate, it was proper a game, but I like Fellaini. I loved him. He, just loved the Ketwig. He was the original Ketwig money.
He was.
But
he was.
He scored a lot of important goals for Everton as well. I always remember the winning against United in Moyes' last season on the first game of the.
Oh yeah, Ferguson. I remember Alex Ferguson. It was on. Yeah, it was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
I remember. It was on the Monday night, wasn't it?
They went on to win the league that season anyway.
Yeah, but I remember. Yeah, because it was his last season. I remember Alex Ferguson having a proper shit on in the press conference. Like he really wasn't very happy about it. But yeah, he was unplayable that day, wasn't he?
I love it when managers have cob-ons, to be honest.
It's great.
It's fantastic.
It's great. So who's yours then?
Well, we were talking beforehand, and originally we were thinking about like Kale and Arteta, but obviously they were sort of coming to the tail end of their Everton career.
Yeah, I mean they did play in this decade, so in theory you can.
Sure, you could.
Arteta, I think we were trying to recall when he left, and it was
2010,
2011, I think.
Yeah, must have been. And I was and ahhing over Leighton Baines, who was obviously a great player. He's still at the club, obviously he's a great servant. I'm going to go with Jagielka, just because, for me, he's probably been one of the pound for pound best signings we've made in current times.
Yeah.
Now we've always been blessed really with good centre halves. My favourite one was David Weir growing up for like 250 grand. But Jagielka just he maybe wasn't the best captain, I'd say, but he was just a great centre half, great servant to the club. I was gutted when he left as well. I know with Everton are kind of sentimental sometimes, and we've done it with Tony a bit and stuff like that, but I'd go with Jagielka just because there's a bad stat that we've conceded the most goals off set pieces. And when you look at some of the teams that are in this division, it shouldn't be happening to Everton with the players that we've got. And now obviously the thing we're crying out for is a striker. Now unfortunately we haven't been blessed really. Like Kubu was great for a bit, he had a bit of a bad injury.
But again, not this decade.
No, not
which
this
is
decade.
Mad, that's depressing to say that now.
Yeah, feed the yak and he
because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
No. But let's come on to my favourite.
So who's your worst?
Well, there's so many to choose from, isn't it? It's like a buffet, a Chinese buffet. Which one do I take? Myself, I'm gonna go for Alcatraz. A couple of reasons. I put him on this list for good reason. He is the some of Dave's notes in there.
Oh, okay, funny, right. I thought
if you just want to pull that little slip and you will go.
I thought it was just like a full list.
Yeah. Alcaraz is probably. Sorry.
Clive Thomas.
There's Clive Thomas's list.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay.
Now
Alcaraz is on there. Yeah, I can confirm he's on the list.
we've got the adjudication. But I've never known a centre half to duck out of an header. Who was the Europa League game where we absolutely just cost us the whole game?
Kiev.
The Ukrainian side, Kiev. Yeah.
Now,
horrible.
This is the problem I had with Martinez. Now, he had a bit of a fallout with Distan. Distan was a good player for Everton. I know he had a mistake in him or two, but overall, he was a good player. He had a falling out with him.
Boss Milkman as well.
Sorry?
Boss Milkman as well.
Yeah. Apparently so.
Well, but this was my big problem with Martinez.
Allegedly,
yeah. Good shout. Otherwise, we would have been after phoning Better Call Mike there. But he sold Shane Duffy for $1 million to Blackburn. Now, Shane Duffy is 10 times the player Alcaraz was, and he brought him in because he was one of his boys.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely useless. I would rather get a mop, dig it down in the turf, paint it here, black, put Everton top, as good as, maybe better. So who would you pick?
Well, you said at the start of that little segment there, you said, I've never known a centre-half who can't head the ball. And at times, my candidate for this is Ashley Williams. And it's not because Ashley Williams couldn't head the ball, because he could head the ball quite well, as he proved quite frequently at Swansea. But at times it was like he didn't want to, which I think is arguably worse, because there's in life, not being able to do something sometimes isn't necessarily your fault. When you can do it and you don't do it, that's probably, you know, another level. So for me, it's Ashley Williams, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, because I think he came with a bit of a pedigree. And although I remember doing the podcast at the time and speaking to a Swansea fan about him when we signed him, and he said, not really that bothered. And I was expecting him to be gutted, but he wasn't. And he said, because he's been on like a slide for a while. And if you remember, the summer when Everton brought him, he'd been out in the European Championships with Wales. There was that European Championships and they'd done really well.
And he played well.
But I think for me with Ashley Williams, there was a game at Burnley which sticks out in my mind where he
got sent off,
and
then Sam.
Yeah, and he really did stink the place out, and it was a terrible performance. And I just thought that he didn't offer anything. I mean, I'm not sure what he was like as a guy or what he is like as a guy, but like, you know, he would shit himself sometimes, and he would just. I think it would seem to me that he wasn't particularly too bothered to be there, but also as well, like he couldn't run. His position, and never. Do you know what else was mad about Ashley Williams is considering he was like a pretty player with a bit of stature in the Premier League. Like how frequently you just switch off and just be like, why are you there? Like, do you know what I mean? He had that to him, and we saw that far too often at Everton, and that was disappointing to me, given the price tag. I think
12 million for what age was he? 30 at the time. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I was actually quite like, oh, he's a good player. Remember Arsenal left him. This is a good signing. Now, the thing that annoyed me more about him was, I don't know if it's just me, but I always felt that he gave more for Swansea. Maybe it was because he had more affinity with them, but also what annoyed me was Michael Keane had to play with him, and he was the type of defender who was like, I'm going to look after myself. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make you look good, you know what I mean? Cashley, I used to call that Ashley Cole. But, I mean, actually, your first video in this studio, the sex layer, was when we got rid of him. I still get called a sex layer, you know, that was coined off that blue light, but remember we loaned him to Stoke? Yeah. And I had to play Celebration. Yeah, you fucking YouTube nerds left me alone there. But I hate them. I couldn't stand them. But
there's been, I mean, again, like if we really sat and thought about it, there's multiple players I think from this decade that
we could do a whole episode on that, really, couldn't we? I mean, you could just look back here and probably go, oh no, Shandy Mendes. Remember Shandy Van der Beek? Remember when someone robbed his car and was dragging it around the back of the showcase? Stop,
he's actually a candidate for your list.
Yeah, he is actually.
I'd say.
He is. The only thing I kind of like, he's second goal because I've just noticed, by the way, there's a few views silencing, which is still Dave's location on Twitter. Because he used to have that as his picture for Twitter where, you know, like he's just looking like this, and if you look directly in his eyes, there's evil thoughts going on there. Jesus, whatever happened to him? But there's plenty. I mean, Segundo Castillo, was he this decade?
Yes.
Right, we've got some
awful... No, 2009, I think.
Yeah,
2008.
Yeah.
What about Carlo Nash? Remember him?
Carlo Nash was under Moyes, might have been.
Did he ever play?
He never played. He did play 2 games.
Yeah.
Did he? I swore he played a game. Let us know in the comments. Right, also as well, he's going on this list. Do you know why? Because he's English and his name's Carlo Nash. Sounds like a superhero name. But, speaking of Ashley, I was quite disappointed. But I seen a few people going, you know what, I agree with you, Paul. I tried to push the boat. I know we wanted Blassie, but Blassie started talking to me. You know what happens when you put these on, don't you, mate? when I just play music, I can just see far and wide soft cunts. Ashley Williams, one day, you are gonna come on this list. Thanks, classes. What can you say? You know? I hope the female viewers have enjoyed this beefcake. Remember, ladies, hands off, he's taken.
What I agree to do.
Like, if I could have played the Diet Coke advert music, I would have. But the nerds from YouTube probably would have been like, ooh, ooh. So, you know, thanks for coming on, mate.
No
Sure,
worries.
I think you've enjoyed that.
Yeah?
I always fucking enjoy
Thoroughly
it, as you can
enjoyed
see,
it.
like.
I did that, I
But,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
Very complimentary as well, so I appreciate it.
Listen, also get on over to Grand Old Team. You can see Adam doing a lot of post-match, sometimes with this handsome devil, but it's also with some great people like Dave Feely off Howard's Way, by the way. What a film. What an amazing film, which you can check out the review. I even wrote one, like, and I don't even like typing anymore, you know what I mean? I'm just like, forget typing, I'll just talk. But it's a fantastic film, fantastic soundtrack. I listen to quite a lot of it on here. But yeah, until next time, up the fucking top.